Hey YouTube, Jethro. So the other day I made some chicken sausage, and later on I went ahead and seasoned up some deer summer sausage. And like I said, Cokeman 250 done a heck of a video on the summer sausage. I want to change it up a little bit. I love LEM products. I like the flavor of them. Sometimes the salt content in them is just too much for me. So I got to mix my own stuff, and you know, you can go on the internet and find 101 recipes. Works out, and still yet your salt ratio is going to be about 3/4 to 1 teaspoon of salt per pound of meat, and then you're going to use the recommended amount of curing salt if you want to use curing salt. And the thing about the curing salt is it keeps your meats when they're cooked. You see, this has been sitting in the refrigerator for 2 days. Now, the meat that was exposed to air has turned kind of brown. Everything else is just as pink as can be. That's the same thing that you're going to get once you cook it. The whole inside is just going to stay a nice color, and it also helps it stay good for a longer period of time. But one thing I was wanting to hit on this, you know, I do have the sausage stuffer, and I've got my casings and stuff, and I go overboard with it just because I love it so much. But if you want to do this at home, use aluminum foil on this. This meat's pretty stiff. Oops, sorry. And what you can do is just take the meat, work it out on your table, make small logs out of it, try to get them uniform in size. You want them longer or narrower, fine. If you want them fatter, fine. It doesn't really matter. But you take this log right here, wrap it up in aluminum foil, poke 3 or 4 tiny holes in the side of it, bake it off in the oven until it's done in the center. When it gets done, cool it, unwrap it. You can wrap it up in plastic wrap after that. You can throw it in a Ziploc bag, throw it in the refrigerator, throw it in the freezer. Whenever you want it, pull it out, use it. I'm going to be stuffing mine, but anyway, that's just another sausage making tip, and I encourage you to try some of it out. If you do want to get into this, the sausage stuffers, which I bought mine at Academy, and it was actually cheaper buying it at Academy than it was to buy it off the internet through LEM, but I think they're like 129 bucks. It's a 5-pound stuffer. I've had this one for about 3 years, I guess, and it's stuffed many a pounds and never a problem with it. Also, you can go get your casings, which, like I said, I bought that at Academy Sports. The casings, they carry a line of that. Pretty much at deer season they will, for whatever state you're in. And when they sell out, they don't get a whole lot more stuff in. But today, I'm going to go ahead. I've been stuffing these, or not stuffing them. I boiled my casings for about 30-35 minutes. And that just helps make them nice and pliable. And pretty much all I'm going to do is thread this baby over. Now I do have hog ring pliers and hog rings, and I like using those as opposed to cutting string off and tying them. It keeps the sausage nice and tight, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. But we're just going to take and stuff that sausage tube as tight as we can get it. We get down here towards the end, back it off a little bit on the stuffer, make sure we got plenty of room to get a good twist on it. Once you got that twist, take our pliers, put that hog ring on there, and boom. See how I can see that? Yeah. Just a nice tight log, and when it cooks up, you know, I mean, it works out perfect. So I'm gonna finish these off and be back later. Okay guys, so I ended up getting 6 rolls out of it, and I had a little pile left over. So rather than waste a casing on just what would be probably 1/4 of a link of sausage, I'm gonna go ahead and do the foil thing on this one. The thing you want to try to remember though is when you do the foil, you really want to weigh your meat out. And if you want to do 1 pound, 1.5 pound, 2 pound logs, try to make them, weigh your meat out to 1 pound and make your logs all about the same size. You want to keep your cooking time about the same, but like I say, I'm going to do it this baby. pat her out and down, get her to about a kind of a round shape, about the size of those logs. Moisten your hands before you start so the meat don't stick to you too bad. Go ahead and twist your ends up to keep her nice and snug and tight. Right there's you another roll of sausage. Just that plain and simple. And you can do every one of them like that. It just depends on how you want to store them and how you want to keep it or give it away or whatever. So I'm going to get my oven fired up. I'm doing these inside in the oven, guys. I did add powdered smoke to the recipe, which I'll try to get my seasonings out, at least get you a list of something I've tried or I like, and maybe you get a chance to try it yourself. Okay guys, here's the setup in the rack. What I've done is placed a piece of aluminum foil on the bottom rack, and I just placed the sausages straight on the rack on top, and I'm going to run this at 275 degrees. It's probably going to go for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. When I hit 165 on the internal temp, then I will take them out, cool them off really quick, and that'll be that. So just that simple, that easy.